Hello, welcome to My Grandpa's Train. Today's short video is just a quick update of projects coming up on my channel. So, I just want to talk about what's going to be done in the near or far future. There's quite a few projects that I've started that just need to be finished, whether it's in HO scale or American Flyer, but primarily I'm focusing here on the American Flyer. In front of you is a Royal Blue locomotive, and that is complete, but I have another version of this particular locomotive that is going to be built, and that's all I can say about that because it will be a surprise. Behind the Royal Blue is a set of Frisco custom painted streamline coaches that are a little bit dingy and dirty and just need a little bit of freshening up, so that might come along as part of another project. Turning over to the left here, we have a GP7 371. This has been mechanically restored, and the video portion that will be created on this engine is the replacement of the decals on it because they are completely falling off. That will be completing that particular locomotive restoration. Over here further is another GP7, which is in the process of transforming road names. I will have a video on the painting process of this, and that engine also needs a coupler installed on the rear, and the 370 over here as well needs to have a rear footplate and coupler installed to complete that project. But there is a lot more hiding underneath the table, and we'll take a look at other things here in just a moment. This locomotive has a problem with its paint, and so that is going to be transformed. That is not great. So I'm going to be doing something about that. It also needs its horn installed. The 302 behind it is going to be a far out winter restoration because it just needs to be mechanically brought back to life. Same goes for this 322 Hudson on the shelf. That is a mechanical restoration that's going to be slated for the winter. While the weather is good, I'm going to be working on painting projects. I have some pre-war American Flyer locomotives to work on. I have parts on order for that. They have a pre-war caboose that is in process of being painted. And back here is a caboose that can be painted. Haven't started that one yet. Let's see what lies underneath the layout here. Some plastic 300s, boxes of freight cars in need of restoration. There's a 312 Pacific in need of new wheels. Down here we have our box of 312 Pacifics, one of which is actually a pre-war locomotive. So that is, I have parts on order for one of those, and the other one is slated to be restored before Christmas for a friend of mine. There's also a 310 hiding out under here, and we'll get to that when I get to that. Coming up for our Christmas specials this winter will be the restoration of my two talking stations, one of which is the plastic Noma station, and will probably receive a new home located elsewhere in my basement, and the Mystic talking station, which lights up, but I've never been able to get it operating yet. So this winter for Christmas I'm going to be doing something with my talking stations. This locomotive is going to be receiving a new paint scheme coming up pretty soon. While the weather's nice, I'm going to be custom painting this locomotive into something I think you'll like. I had removed all of the chipped and beat up, scratched up chrome and paint, and it was quite a messy job to do that. But it finally all came off pretty clean, and I just have to do a little bit of polishing on the surface to make a workable paintable surface. Now, let's see if I have any more HO scale projects coming up. The only other HO scale project coming up in the future is this locomotive by Hobbytown. This is an HO scale E7 or E8, I'm not really sure which. Hobbytown diecast locomotive. It is going to be painted for the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad, and I'm going to mechanically assemble it and get it operating, including this giant Pitman 7-pole motor. This is actually an O-scale motor, but it does fit inside this HO locomotive. And I'm going to do that restoration eventually. I'll probably do the painting on it while the weather's nice soon. And then I'm going to compare it with this Lifelike Proto locomotive, see which one can pull a bigger train. The Lifelike will win for shiny paint and quietness, but I bet you the Hobbytown will outpull it by a mile. Should probably mention that in these tubs up here too, I have my Baldwin locomotive, which is going to be turned into something special. It's just going to be on the back burner for quite a while. And I've also got some other HO scale projects, including something special from Lionel in HO scale. Alright, I think that is everything that I have to work on coming up this fall and winter. So I hope you stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, please do that. It'll help out my channel. I do have a lot of electronic projects that I'm trying to teach myself how to repair. So I don't know how my schedule going forward will be producing videos. It may... Oh, I almost forgot. I have that vacuum tube powered transformer to restore. On my undersized controlled console is the one other transformer project that I'm going to work on this winter. This is going to be the restoration and testing of this American Flyer Model 16 electronic rectiformer. This is a vacuum tube powered, vacuum tube rectified DC output transformer for my 332 DC locomotive. So I'm going to be replacing the cord on this, going through the insides of it, making sure it is in good health and operation, and I'm going to be testing it out, and possibly I'll do a wiring diagram on this one as well, if it's complicated enough to deserve it. This particular transformer didn't have its proper shield, but I found this piece of wire that fit around there pretty good. You just don't want to touch those rectifiers when they're in operation. They get very, very hot. Alright. That is going to conclude this video on my upcoming projects, and like I said, if you're not subscribed, I hope you would do that. It'll help out my channel, and thanks for watching.